Good evening. Welcome to the Tuesday, July 16th, 2019 Summer Edition meeting of the Long Meadow School Committee. This meeting will be recorded, aired live on LCTV, and live streamed on longmeadow.org. It is a legal requirement that anyone recording the meeting disclose that they are doing so at this time. Seeing none, please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There is no correspondence. Approval of minutes. We do have minutes to approve.
I move that the school committee approve the minutes to the June 25th, 2019 school committee meeting as presented.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed? All abstaining? We have one abstention. Visitors' comments. I do not see anybody in the gallery, so therefore, except for Jean, she'll be presenting later. So we will move on. Any school committee announcements or recognitions?
I want to just applaud the people who do the summer programs. One of my kids went to a writing program last week and loved it. So it's great that all the wonderful stuff that goes on in our schools all summer long.
I'd have to echo those sentiments, and Stacy, who runs it, always smiling, always ready to get to work, and runs a great program for the kids. My kids are going, I think, next week or week after, so thanks. Business with guests. We do not have any business with guests. Any, Dr. O'Shea, your report?
No written report this evening.
I do not have a report. There is no student rep until the fall, I'm assuming. LPVEC? Okay. Finance Subcommittee has not met. Policy Sub?
There are two draft policies for the second reading tonight. That's the policy DB, annual budget, and policy BEDH, public participation at committee meetings. And as noted here, the policies were posted to the district's website for over 30 days, and no input was received.
Seeing that there is no input on either, I would go for a motion.
I move on the recommendation of the policy subcommittee that the school committee approve policy DB, annual budget as presented.
Motion and second.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, call for a vote. All in favor? Yes. I would consider another motion.
I move on the recommendation of the policy subcommittee that the school committee approve policy BEDH, public participation at committee meetings, as presented.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, call for a vote. All in favor? Unanimous. There is no ongoing business. We do have new business. Jean, if you want to come on up. School committee will consider a proposal to add an additional pre-K half-day section at Wolf Swamp Road. This would include the hiring of a .5 pre-K teacher and .5 FTE paraprofessional. Marty?
So you have the proposal in your packet and some background information that gives you an idea of the enrollment and the staffing. And we have increased interest in the preschool and increased need to provide preschool programming for special education students. And Jean Fontaine, People Services Director, is here with us tonight to give you all the background you need and answer any questions you might have. So, take it, Jean.
Sure. So I think, it's pretty much outlined here. We have a unique problem that I don't think we've ever had before, where we're starting the year with no slots available for any special needs students that get referred to us throughout the school year. So students come to us mostly through early intervention, and that is a rolling referral throughout the year based on the child's birthday. So they would be referred to us by 2 years, 9 months, and then we have to have them evaluated, have the IEP written, and be ready to implement it by their 3rd birthday. We typically are anywhere from 4 to 6 months out as far as notice from early intervention. So we do know that there are a couple kiddos on the horizon that will be showing up after the start of the school year. So we would need to be able to accommodate them.
So even the ones you know about, you don't have?
We don't
slots
have
for?
a slot at this
Okay.
point. Yeah, so these are kids that are starting by the end of September is what is accounted for here.
So do you have a number of like, like,
Well, that's the thing, is it's kind of this moving target, so you never really know, because these are small children who are just getting identified through their pediatrician and early intervention, and then transitioning over to us. So typically, we're able to have enough space to meet their needs or meet any referrals throughout the year. So I think by adding this additional section, that gives us 7 slots, which should be definitely sufficient.
okay.
On a given year, how many slots do we usually have available?
Well, we always have the 28 slots, but throughout the year, some of those kids are 4, so they've already been with us for a year. So we get anywhere from 5 to 10. I don't think we've ever gone as high as 10, but probably around 7 that come throughout the school year. So we should be fine.
Any other questions?
So, sorry, just as someone who doesn't know anything about this, right? Like, it says here, students who qualify for special education preschool must start after they're 2.9 years age, but before their 3rd birthday.
Right.
So that's like a state mandate, like, we have to do this.
Correct.
We don't have a choice
That's correct.
about whether we do this or not.
Right.
So we have no choice. We have to do what you're asking us to do.
Well,
or we
if-
will be out of compliance. Is that
Yes,
right?
we would be out of compliance, and I would have to get very creative and partner with
Yeah.
other communities to try to secure a slot for the student, or come up with a home-based program. Like, the students will get will get their needs met, whether or not we fund this position. This is the best way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the solution is a tuition
Right.
for another district.
Right.
Assuming we can even find a district that has the capacity to take in our preschool students.
When you say a tuition for another district, we would have to pay another
would have to
district.
pay.
Or private facility for
Okay.
preschool.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. And it's not just tuition.
Right.
You're also
It really
servicing all of the
Transportation.
services that the child receives. So, since we have on-site, and I just know this, I haven't had any prior conversations about it, I just know this because of the work that I do. Since you have all the services on-site, this is the lowest cost option for servicing
Right. And it
those
does-
potential students.
It also creates more peer slots, so it does,
Absolutely. Right. So you're
also
serving
bring
the
in some
community.
revenue as
Right.
well.
Right.
Any further discussion?
Armin, I just want to add on, we're also thinking about expanding the program, since we're talking about it for this year, that for the FY '21 budget cycle, possibly expanding it to a full-day program, which would have staffing implications also. But just so it's kind of out there now, that's already something we've been talking about to address needs of some of these students.
So if you look at the breakdown of our students, and you see that we have 28 slots or special needs students, 19 of them are there full day. Even though they just do a half day of preschool, we're still working with them for OT, PT, discrete child teaching for the other half of the day. So our need for full day, which we don't actually have a full day classroom, is something that we're looking to explore. And as the typical peers, a lot of parents have been asking about why don't we offer a full day program for peers? So that's something that we'll look at and hopefully have more information for you in the fall.
Yeah, that's probably something we don't want to start talking about tonight before we have the information, right?
Right.
So, good.
And I think just a point of, so any peers that come do have a charge assessed,
Correct.
correct? So I think it's $3,000?
$2,000.
$2,000 per child.
Right. So that would be up to 8. We can take 8 peers.
All right, so do you need a motion or you just need consent?
I think a motion to approve, because eventually we're going to have to come back with a budget
With a budget transfer,
to
okay.
fund the salaries associated to the 2 positions, since they don't exist in the budget currently. I think a motion to approve the creation of the 2.5 positions would be appropriate.
Okay. I would consider a motion at this time?
I move that the school committee add an additional pre-K half-day section at Wolf Swamp School, including the hiring of a .5 FTE pre-K teacher and a .5 FTE paraprofessional.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Yes, Kevin?
So, Tom, do you know now where that money would come from in the budget, or is that for a later meeting to have that discussion?
Sitting here tonight, if I had to present a transfer to you, I have an idea where I think it would come from based on some of the fluidness of some of our special ed tuitions. But I usually come forward in the fall, even with the addition of the kindergarten section at Center, to do transfers based on the attrition we know for any new hires and so on. And since we don't know exactly where the new hires will fall on the salary schedule, I wouldn't even know an exact dollar amount. I could guess, but I may have to come back for a supplemental, or I could possibly be higher than what we end up hiring the person at. So we usually do the transfers after the hiring is done for the beginning of the school year.
But this amount doesn't concern you, that we should be able to cover that?
Yeah, based on some of the information that I'm aware of, yeah, I think I'm comfortable that we will have the money to cover the cost of adding this section.
Further discussion? Seeing none, call for a vote. All in favor? Unanimous. There is an executive session planned for this evening. I would entertain a motion.
I move that the school committee meet in executive session pursuant to MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21. A, purpose 1, to address a written complaint against an employee of the school district. Purpose 2, to conduct a strategy session in preparation with non-union personnel, the superintendent. And purpose 7, consideration of release of executive session minutes from previous meetings to reconvene into open session.
This motion requires a roll call vote. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Jamie?
Aye.
Gianna?
Aye.
Bronwyn?
Aye.
Armin, aye. Brian?
Aye.
Susie?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
We are now in executive session. We will not be back live after the executive session, so thank you for joining tonight, and enjoy your summer.